sitting at an 8-year high for this month, and home prices in April 5% higher than April of last year. Stanley Fischer, vice chair of the Federal Reserve, says the central bank will consider hiking interest rates at its next policy meeting, even if targets on unemployment and inflation have not been fully reached. And citing jury misconduct, a federal appeals court now says a one-time engineer at BP is entitled to a new trial on obstruction of justice charges. He's accused of deleting company emails, all stemming from the investigation into what happened in the 2010 Gulf of Mexico oil disaster. I'm Tom Busby, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
Do you want to learn how to earn commissions of up to 20% by laundering millions of foreign dollars?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's email security solutions keep email phishing attacks like this from entering your business network and any valuable data from leaking out. Reclaim your network like 150,000 other businesses have. To learn more about stopping email-borne threats, visit barracuda.com/email.
Listen to AM 1050 KCAA. It makes people wonder what you're up to.
And good afternoon. It's 12:02. I'm Di Rice with the only live local news here in the Inland Empire on KCAA 1050 AM. A beer delivery truck that authorities said was going too fast as it transitioned from the eastbound 60 to the northbound 215 in Riverside yesterday overturned early morning, blocking traffic and spilling beer all over the roadway. Crash occurred just a few minutes before 8 o'clock. And it was at the point where the ramp from the 60 lets drivers off onto the 91 freeway, and then it immediately becomes the 215 northbound. 2 lanes of the 91 were closed for almost 6 hours, and the ramp was closed for 2 hours. The driver, 66-year-old Angelo Geberwright of Marietta, Georgia, had to be cut out of the cab and was removed through the windshield. Geberwright was treated for cuts and scrapes and taken to Riverside Community Hospital. As the truck overturned, it slid into another vehicle driven by 25-year-old Jasmine Smith. Smith's car was pushed into the center divider. She was not injured. And 58-year-old Charles Merritt will likely face the death penalty if convicted in the quadruple murder of the McStay family who lived in Fallbrook. District Attorney Mike Ramos filed a notice in court yesterday. Merritt is charged with 4 counts of murder in the deaths of the parents and 2 children who went missing in 2010 and whose skeletal remains were found in the desert near Victorville in 2013. Investigators have not only testified to the murder, but also about suspicious activity in an online business bookkeeping account that included checks cashed by Merritt during the time period after the family was believed to have gone missing. Investigators found a DNA match to the defendant on the steering wheel of the family's car and cell phone tracking that put the phone used by Merritt in the vicinity of the desert burials. The sentencing judge makes the final decision. And Eileen M. Decker was sworn as U.S. District Attorney in the area that encompasses the Inland Region and Orange County. She leads the largest U.S. Attorney's office outside the District of Columbia, which employs about 250 attorneys and serves more than 19 million residents in 7 counties, including San Bernardino and Riverside. Decker is a former assistant U.S. attorney appointed by President Obama to replace Andre Barade Jr., who resigned to become a U.S. district judge in August of 2014. Inland Empire weather once again sunny, hot, almost unbearable out there. Really muggy. 98's the high. Overnight lows only at about 68. Currently, we are at 95 degrees here in San Bernardino. Looking at your drive through Rubidoux, there is road construction on the 60 westbound between Rubidoux Boulevard and Valley Way. Also, stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between Magnolia and Highway 71. The 15 north is a bit slow from Ontario to the 91. And in San Bernardino, an accident has cleared on the 215 northbound right here at Orange Show Road and Auto Plaza Drive. But still expect a little bit of slowing in that area because there was a crash that involved an overturned car. It has been cleared to the right lane. The off-ramp has been reopened, but the drive remains slow from the 10 freeway. That is the very latest with news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
From the latest movies and TV shows to comedy and music, we cover it all on The Beat Pod Show with me, Brad Dalius, each and every week here on CNBC, KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people.
Celebrate the success.
Thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show, America. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Susan is on the line in Abilene, Texas. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hello, Dave. I'm great. And how are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I have a question about retirement. Once you are retired, how much of your, what percentage of your total net worth should your personal residence be?
I don't have a set percentage. The larger your net worth, the smaller the percentage would be. In other words, if you're worth $50 million, you wouldn't want to have 50% in your home. But if you're worth $150,000, you probably are going to have more than 50% in your home. So the smaller your net worth, the larger the percentage your home will likely be, and that's very reasonable. That's one ratio you can look at. And so if you're in the $1 million range of net worth, I'm just making this up on the spot. I don't really have this figured out, but I'm sitting here thinking I wouldn't want to have more than half of it in my house, I don't think, in that case, because I probably want to have about $500,000 in investments, about $500,000 in my house, something like that. But I just made that up on the spot based on a feeling. I haven't done any math. But you kind of see how I'm looking at that. It's you want to try to have as small a portion as possible, but you also have to have a home that you can live in. So where are you, Susan?
Well, total net worth, we're about $2.9 million.
And what's your house worth?
Right now, about $180, but yeah,
okay,
about $180.
Okay,
$180,000.
Well, that's certainly very safe. You're under 10% at that point. And if you wanted to move up in home just for the sheer enjoyment of it, you've got plenty of room to do so if that's what you're asking about. But I wouldn't want to have $1.8 million of my $2.2 in a house. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
all right.
But you kind of see how I'm doing that?
Yes.
I'm just kind of gauging it against common sense, or a feeling, if you will. I don't have a real set thing. But congratulations on $2.2 million. Phenomenal. Very cool. All right, Bob is with us in Norman, Oklahoma. Hey, Bob, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I wanted to ask your opinion on buying a bigger house, kind of like the previous caller.
Except you're not dealing with $2.2 million, I bet.
No. Not anywhere close.
Okay, good.
No.
All right.
So the current house is worth about $150,000. We're looking at buying a $375,000 house.
Mm-hmm.
It works. Cash flow, the cash flow works. It's just a big jump, and wanted to see what your thoughts were.
You have any debt other than your home?
Just the house.
Good. You got your emergency fund in place?
Yes.
Good. Okay. And
we got the 15% going to retirement.
Good. And when you do this, the house payment will be less than a fourth of your take-home pay on a 15-year fixed.
The payment not including taxes and insurance?
Just the house payment. Yeah.
Just the principal and interest?
No,
the principal.
Yeah, I don't want you to get up there where your house payment, including taxes and insurance, is a lot more than a quarter. But we just say your payment is what we throw it out there just to try to keep you from getting house poor. What's your take-home pay?
About $5,500.
Okay, and this house payment's going to be how much? On a 15.
It's going to be about $2,300, $2,200.
That's almost 50% of your take-home pay, dude.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Okay.
That's too much.
Well, I appreciate your help.
Yeah, you need to back down because you don't want to become house poor, where the house owns you mathematically every month. You're sitting there staring at that payment, and you're trying to make do on what's left over after you pay the payment. But, what we tell folks is to not buy more than a 15-year fixed rate with a payment not more, including taxes and insurance, of more than about a fourth of your take-home pay. And so at $5,500 take-home pay, what's that going to put us at? About probably a $1,500 house payment's about all you want to bite off.
Right.
Which is going to cut you down. That's going to cut you down close to, $75,000-$100,000 off of what you're talking about, probably. Just to stay in the range. You just don't want to get in a situation where you take up all your margin and your wiggle room with a stinking payment. It takes all the joy out of owning it. The house becomes a curse rather than a blessing. Brandon is in Fargo, North Dakota. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Doing all right, Dave. How you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I just had a couple questions for you. I have a student loan that I want to eventually pay off, and my wife is just getting out of school. And I'm going to finish paying that. I'm going to start paying that pretty soon, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, basically, I'm trying to save some gas money. I was driving a moped to work, and that just broke down. And I have a 1973 Cougar, and it's just a gas hog. But I also have a 1980 Yamaha motorcycle that I'd like to get fixed up, and that's going to be good on gas once I get it fixed. But I was thinking about pulling from my emergency fund, and then thinking maybe in the long run I'm going to save gas and I can start paying a little more on those loans once I get back to that emergency fund.
Mm-hmm. So what is your household income?
Probably around $40,000-$50,000.
Okay. So what's your take-home pay a month?
My take-home pay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, I guess.
Why are you not sure?
I'd rather not say, I guess.
Okay. Well, is it $4,000 a month or $3,000 a month?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Okay. All right. And your wife's in school full-time. She's not working yet?
Not yet. She's got some interviews. We got some irons in the fire and some good,
What does
she
drive?
Leads here for a job. She drives a 2001 Oldsmobile Aurora.
It's paid for?
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
We paid cash for that. So.
How much is owed on these student loans?
Oh, we haven't even got them back yet, to be honest with you. But I'm guessing at least like probably around 40. I'm guessing she went to school and got a bachelor's degree. So
okay, if you're ever wandering around a place, a city, or a mall or something like that, and you're lost, the first thing you do is you find one of those signs with a red arrow that says "You are here,"
mm-hmm.
and you don't know where you are. You need to get in detail about your income and about the student loans to know where you are in order to best figure out on where you're going. Okay. I think in your case, probably what I'm going to do is sell the car and use the money to fix up the motorcycle, or to buy another cheap, inexpensive, paid-for car, or sell both of them and buy a very inexpensive cash car that has better gas mileage. Maybe not motorcycle gas mileage, but better than 73 Cougar gas mileage. So, I mean, you got two old pieces of junk there. It might be not be a bad idea to get them both sold and just get into something a little bit better, pay cash for it, and set yourself up on a tight budget to begin to repay these student loans. Thanks for the call.
Men, have you been going along just to...
Financial plan is life insurance. Having it and having the right amount are crucial. If you died, how would your family pay the bills, put food on the table, and plan for the future? Term life insurance is protection for the ones you love. It's not complicated and it's not expensive. People need to deal with this, which is why I found a company I trust and I do business with, Xander. Please take the time to take care of your family.
This is KCAA.
Out and about in Western agriculture. A lot of cotton growers have neighboring alfalfa fields that are going fallow during this drought, and that can be an aid to pest pressures. More after this.
Step right up and gaze upon this miraculous substance I hold in the palm of my hands. This little miracle can feed us, clothe us, give us clean, fresh water, and provide wildlife habitat for nature's critters. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the greatest soil on earth.
Learn more about soil health principles that can turn your soil into a star performer. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today to find out how. This message brought to you by USDA and this radio station.
Advisors talked to cotton growers at a recent field day about lygus populations and damage. The bug prefers crops that often surround cotton fields, and one of their favorites is alfalfa. Cooperative Extension Specialist Bob Hutmacher says lots of attention has been given to finding a way to keep those lygus populations in those fields so they don't just migrate to neighboring cotton. He says advisors are recommending leaving a small outer strip of alfalfa when you cut to hold those infestations.
There's a real long history, 30 years or more of data on lygus essentially release out of alfalfa fields and how you can manage the alfalfa to maintain some viable location for the lygus to stay when you do a cut so that it doesn't just release everything out into the neighboring cotton fields.
Hutmacher says these problems are multiplied during drought conditions. Besides some growers letting neighboring alfalfa fields go fallow, some other possible crops that are drought-friendly can also harbor the pest.
Certainly when you get into a drought situation, you expect to see probably more forage going for things like small grains because, again, it's a lower water use crop. You expect to see more safflower sometimes if the market conditions are right because it's known as a fairly drought-tolerant crop. And then, again, summer fallow type of management for alfalfa.
I'm Taylor Hillman for AgNet West.
KCAA.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
Thousands of people just like you get all the information they need on AM 1050 KCAA Radio.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you're with us. This is the Dave Ramsey Show, where we give you the same financial advice your grandmother would, only we keep our teeth in. Chris Brown's True Stewardship has launched. If you haven't heard, this is a Christian radio show that launched a week ago in 20 cities and online on podcast at stewardship.com. 30 minutes every day. And you can find the city near you at stewardship.com and or download the podcast and set it up on iTunes to automatically. That's how I do it. And then I listen to Chris in the morning when I'm working out and stuff. That's how I get a lot of my podcasts in, is during those kinds of time. So listen to a lot of different people. But Chris is incredible. I mean, he is one of our Ramsey personalities. We've launched this show, and it's about what the Bible has to say about money. True biblical stewardship. And we're getting amazing feedback already on the show. Lots of new listeners, lots of new instant fans of Chris and of his nice demeanor. He's like a nicer Dave. One guy said if he needs encouragement, he listens to Chris, and if he needs to be knocked upside the head, he listens to Hillbilly Dave. So there you go. I'm nice sometimes, but not always. So I deserve that. I resemble that remark. So check it out, stewardship.com, Chris Brown's True Stewardship, new Christian radio show that is taking the nation and the podcast space by storm. Nate is with us in Lincoln, Nebraska. Hi, Nate. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I guess I had a question for you based on a very irregular income. I farm, and so it's been all over the place the last couple of years. So we have an income anywhere from $150,000 to what we're projecting maybe around $30,000 this year.
So net profit or gross?
Yes, net profit.
Okay. So, well, I mean, it sounds like one of those was a bumper crop and the other one was a complete bust. Does it usually move that much?
Well, not usually. This is mostly based off of the markets. You know, we had really good corn and bean prices 2 years ago, and then this year they kind of really went into the tank.
You're saying the price went down on corn and beans 80%?
It went down substantially, yeah. I mean, we had $7 corn, and now we're faced with, $3.5, so it got cut in half.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't half would take you to $75,000 from $150.
Right. Well, it just depends on this year whether we make a profit because inputs are still so high.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm facing is how to budget that.
Yeah. Well, let's back up. I mean, there's a lot of emotion around farming for me. I'm a huge respecter of farmers, and farmers also use a lot of emotion in their chosen vocation. But I have to also remember that it's a business, and you do too. So let's treat it like a business that's just this volatile, and say, well, outside variables are controlling my pricing, and I've got this huge swing year to year in profits, and how do I budget for that? And the only way you would do that in any kind of a business is to build large sums of money called retained earnings, big savings accounts, to cover the hill. You know, when you got a great year, you don't act like it's a great year. You still act like it's a bad year and set most of that back for a bad year. And
so kind of collect the nuts in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah. You just squirrel money, as my grandma used to call it, and yours did too, probably. Yeah. You got to get ready for winter. Only in this case, it's not actually winter; it's the next year. So, I've got business units within here. I think we have right now 11 different profit and loss units within our business, and some of those make almost no revenue in the summer. And so how do they make up for that? How do they still pay the payroll of their areas without dragging down the rest of this business? Well, when they make hay while the sun shines, so they're putting, as you said, putting the nuts in the nest to get ready. And when they're having a good spring, they're setting money back for a lousy July. And then, when September comes around, here we go again, And so they think through that. The other thing that you can do is to try to find different things in your business that you can do to offset the swings that are not as susceptible to swings. In other words, broaden your product line. If corn and beans, and I don't know anything about farming in terms of the technical aspects of it, but if corn and beans are doing this, then find something else that you can do that's not as volatile. Maybe it's not as profitable when things are good, but it's not as crazy. And so over here on the side, you've got a whole tree farm going, or a vegetable thing going, or something that's not as, because the stuff you're talking about there's very much a commodity. And the commodity markets are driving you crazy, is what you're saying. And so, if you move into something that's not as commoditized and say, okay, with all this farm-to-table stuff going on, we're gonna create some stuff for the for some of the gourmet restaurants around the area, and it might only be 10 or 15% of your income, but it's a lot more stable and steady, and it takes some of the edge off of these vast swings then by diversifying your product line. So diversifying your product line, if you've got this kind of volatility, is one thing, and retained earnings is the other thing, and that's all I would tell you to do. It sounds very simple, and philosophically it's simple, but finding the answer to that equation, or those pieces to the puzzle, it's hard, and what you're facing is very real. But thank you for what you do for feeding the world. We appreciate it, Nate. All right, Ron is on the line. Ron's in Springfield, Illinois. Hey, Ron, how are you?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, it's great to be able to speak with you on the phone. My question for you is, I'm curious about your thoughts on tax sales as an investment option.
Most of the time when this comes up, it comes up from a get-rich-quick real estate seminar. The same people that teach nothing down real estate, get rich in foreclosure real estate on a weekend boot camp also teach that you can make money in tax sales. Most of the time, that's where the question comes from. That's where I heard about it the first time 30 years ago. I used to buy and sell foreclosures for a living, and bankruptcy real estate and bargains for a living. It's what I did before I went broke. I still buy a lot of real estate, and a lot of it from bank REOs and foreclosure scenarios. So I still play a little bit in that world. My son-in-law runs all of our real estate purchasing and management, so he actually does the day-to-day, but I still love that idea. What I found with the tax sales is it certainly varies a lot by law, state to state. Some of the process that is used to foreclose on a home or to sell a certificate on a piece of property regarding delinquent property taxes. That's what you're talking about, right? Delinquent property tax sales?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. The process changes dramatically state to state. I had a friend that was going to, long time ago, but he used to go, I think it was Florida, that has certificates, if I remember, and there's another one, I think maybe Minnesota. But they issue a certificate that has a guaranteed interest rate on it, so that if the property owner comes in and redeems the property by paying up the back taxes and you hold the certificate, they pay you plus the interest rate. And the interest rate's usually 7 or 8% or something like that, or in those days it was. I haven't looked at it in a while.
In Illinois, the maximum is 18%.
Okay, and is it a certificate state as well?
Well, the certificate or a deed for the property comes later. But initially, once the taxes become delinquent, the county auctions them off. And the maximum interest rate that you can bid is 18%.
And what's the redemption period?
2 years, I believe.
Okay. What I found in messing with them a little bit was that 99% of them that have equity that would make you smile don't come to auction or get redeemed. And so you very seldom end up with a property. You might end up with 18% or 12% on your money, but it's, it may be on $300 or it may be on $3,000. It's not on $40,000 or $50,000. And so, it really, what I determined was it wasn't worth screwing with. It was just too much trouble for too little money and too little time I ended up with the property, which was my goal. So very few times. It's a needle in a haystack deal. I'm not a fan for that reason.
This is KCAA.
California headline news saying the science is clear. Governor Jerry Brown has signed the mandatory vaccination bill.
California Senate has given final approval to the bill, which would force parents to vaccinate most children before they attend kindergarten, regardless of personal or religious beliefs. That angers his parent.
It's disappointing, but it's not going to stop us from trying to
turn in.
The California Assembly approved the bill last week.
Correspondent Alex Stone. The Los Angeles Lakers introduced their draft picks. Larry Nance Jr. explaining how Kobe Bryant reacted to his apology for a previous tweet in which he called the longtime Lakers superstar a rapist.
Hey, you're a kid. We've all said and done things we've regretted, and it's water under the bridge. Welcome to the family. I immediately felt my stomach release.
Bryant was accused of rape in Colorado in 2003. The charges were dropped a year later. Geico weather warming up today with highs near 90 in L.A., 108 in Sacramento, mid-70s in San Francisco. Jeff Scott, California News.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful. But creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy. WholeTones88.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones88.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones88.com today for your free song. Kcaa.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
It's time for some delicious food at Pizza Dilly. Pizza Dilly Pizza in Colton, home of the famous 2-foot pizza with 32 slices of simply the best delicious Pizza Dilly mouth-watering pizza. Pizza Dilly has all kinds of lunch specials Monday through Friday, starting at $3.99, all delicious. Stop by, refresh, refuel, have a cold drink, enjoy a tasty salad or a great specialty Dillylicious sub sandwich, or simply Dilly-lightful Pizza Dilly wings. Pizza Dilly is also People Dilly because your friends are all already there enjoying one of Pizza Dilly's giant screens, watching one of their favorite teams, and if you love the Dodgers, you'll love Pizza Dilly, your hometown Dodger station, all year round. Come on in, enjoy a great pizza, enjoy Pizza Dilly, the real Dilly deal at 194 East Valley Boulevard in Colton, or call 909-370-0242. Once again, that's 909-370-0242.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. If movies are your thing, there are free movie events all over the Inland Empire. Noble Creek Park in Beaumont will screen movies Monday nights. It's Thursday nights for movie nights at the Ovett Family Community Library in Ontario with themed months. San Bernardino will play host to a number of movie screenings at various parks around the city this summer. Valley-wide recreation is also in on the fun with a number of facilities in the Hemet-Menifee region showing movies. You can also enjoy movies in the park after dark at Lake Elsinore's Summer Lake Park. Additionally, free films will be displayed at Moreno Valley's Conference and Recreation Center. For family-oriented movies, there's Yucaipa Community Park Amphitheater, along with Downtown Riverside and California Oak Sports Park in Murrieta. For more information on any of these movie venues, Google Things to Do, Free Events in the Inland Empire. Then, click on the Press Enterprise article and find out what's happening in your area. I'm Di Rice, and that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar on the station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA 1050 AM.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
Guys, do you know we have 500 folks on our team here at Ramsey Solutions? In the next year, we're hiring Java and Ruby developers, copywriters, stewardship sales advisors, corporate sales advisors. Listen, we've got 15 business units here with multiple products that literally reach millions of people every year. And we need your help, some of you. If you love what we do and you're thinking about joining us and spreading this message, you like this mission, you can find out about the jobs at DaveRamsey.com. Just click on Dave's Hiring on the right-hand side of the homepage. We literally are doing work that matters, and we've been voted best place to work in Nashville for 8 years now. So spread the word. Dave's Hiring. You can click the button on the right-hand side of the homepage. Let me just tell you, if you're in the tech world, like you're a Ruby developer, a Java developer, you're in the architect or platform world, or anything along those lines, QA, we're expanding rapidly, and about half of our company is technology now, and it's going beyond that because a whole lot of what we do is delivered digitally. And so if you are in that world and you actually want to write code that does something that matters, then this is a cool place to do it. And yes, everyone does work here in Nashville. No, we do not have remote. And no, we do not work from home. So I'll go ahead and help you with that part. Well, you should. No, I shouldn't. The reason we win Best Place to Work every year is we all get together and talk a lot. We have great culture, great communication, which increases the productivity. You don't get that when you're sitting on your butt at home. So, sorry, old school stuff here. But we'd love to have you if you want to come to work here. Check it out, DaveRamsey.com. Click on Dave's Hiring. Chris is in Anchorage, Alaska. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Dave, how you doing?
Better than I deserve, man. What's up?
It's kind of an interesting story. My ex-wife and I, of 30 years ago, we recently reunited after 29 years of divorce, and we decided to get remarried. But I have some, and I'm embarrassed to say, some defaulted student loans that I would like to take care of before we do that, because I don't want to bring any bad debt into the new marriage.
How much?
It's about $21,000 with the interest and penalties.
And what's your income?
Well, I just started a new job less than a month ago, and the base salary is going to be $52,000 a year. That should be more like $75,000 after OT and Davis-Bacon wages.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you have any cash saved?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any cash saved?
No, unfortunately, we do not. The bulk of my money was spent to move from Arizona to Anchorage.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she herself carries some credit card debt, which drives me nuts. But so I am looking for a program that can help me get these loans out of debt, out of a defaulted status. But everybody I call wants between $500 and $8 fees to start the program. Is this customary? Is there a program that I can find that doesn't charge me those crazy fees? Or
Well, there's not a program. I mean, you've got to go to the actual lender that you owe the money to, and they're going to have some late charges. And the interest that's built up is not negotiable. The principal that's originally there is not negotiable. But you can negotiate through some of the late charges and some of the other fees by just going straight to the person that you owe the money to, the group that you owe the money to, and working with them. But, you know, there's not outside. You don't want to use an outside program and pay somebody to do this for you. You go to them and you work out your deal with them. And so how much of the $21,000 is late fees?
I think the loan balance is a little over 17, and I think they said there was like $4,000 in late fees and penalties and interest.
Okay. What did you used to? I mean, how much can you send them? Could you go crazy and send $2,000 a month?
No, not right away. No, because my fiance has a lot of credit card debt, and she's taken on her home mortgage on her own. So, like I said, we have a lot of.
No, I was talking about you. You're not married. You have $75,000 income. Right. And you wanted to use that $75,000 income to clear up the student loan, I thought. Why are you paying her bills?
Well, because we're cohabiting in the house that she owns.
Well, then just get married.
Well, that's the plan. We're going to get married.
You don't need to wait to get out of debt to get married if you're going to act like you're married.
I didn't want to affect. She's concerned about her credit rating being affected by my bad debt.
Your bad debt does not jump over onto her credit. Nothing you do, nothing unless she signs a debt with you. Her debt, her credit score, or her credit is not affected by yours, whether you're married or not. Credit score does not treat you like you're married, unless you sign something together. But if you sign something together, whether you're married or not, it's going to show up on there. So that's absolute bull.
My second question is, I just received, and so we've been researching this since I got here in Anchorage. I got a letter the other day, a notice of withholding from ADP, Automatic Data Processing, notifying me that there was a student loan order received for a wage garnishment. Yep. Now, my current company does not use ADP as their payroll services. That may have been a former employer.
Yeah, it probably is a former employer.
So
ADP is not a government agency. They're not a collection agency. They're a paycheck production company. They produce paychecks and do either physical checks or direct deposit. And so
this tells me that there has been a garnishment put into effect now then, right?
Yeah, so when they find your new job, they're going to slap it on that.
Right.
And so what I'm telling you is get married. The two of you put your heads together, your incomes together, and let's call these people and negotiate away the $4,000 worth of back late charges that you can negotiate away. The rest of it you're not going to negotiate away. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to promise them $2,000 a month until this is done. You're going to be done with this whole thing in 10 months.
Okay.
But you're going to have to put your budgets together, get married, and knock this thing out fast. Otherwise, they're going to find this new job, and they're going to attach it. They don't even have to go to court to garnish you a student loan. They just need to. All they have to do is just send a letter. That's all they have to do. They have tremendous power. And so you're much better off to take this thing on head on, go ahead and get married, go ahead and knock this out, and then go ahead and cut up her stupid credit cards and get in attack mode. And that's your program. You are your program. That's how you do this stuff. So hold on. I'm going to send you a wedding gift called The Total Money Makeover, our best-selling book of all time so far. Almost 5 million copies out there now of this book. So hold on. I'll give it to you as a gift. And you guys take that and use it to work your way through this. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Aaron is on Facebook.com/Dave Ramsey. I'm a healthy 21-year-old with no dependents. Do I need a will? Yes. Everyone that is over 18 needs a will. Do you need a complicated will that you pay $1,000 to an attorney for? No. You just need to go to uslegalforms.com/Dave. They've got a whole will pack there under my name. I endorse them. Like $30, you get everything you need. But everyone should have a will. And the trick with a will, Aaron, is you want it to be state-specific. because the laws that govern an estate are state laws. They're not federal laws. And so probate law, it's called, is done by state. So Louisiana law is considerably different from Texas. And California is different from everything on the planet in so many ways. But anyway, but certainly in a state law. So you want a state-specific will, a will that is specific to the state you are living in, your residence. That, where is your residence when you die? That needs to be where your will is written for. And again, uslegalforms.com/Dave, and you can get there. So this is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Men, have you been going along just to get along? Have you been misunderstood for too long now? Well, finally, it's a show made just for you. The Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. You can win tickets to the Junior University Musical Theater presentation of The Jungle Book. Just listen to KCAA all day long and get ready to win. Are you looking for adventurous entertainment for the whole family? Then join Junior University for a musical theater experience that is unmatched under the stars at Roosevelt Bowl in Paris Hill Park. This year, it's Mugwai and the Adventures in the Heart of the Jungle as Junior University presents William R. Dixon's adaptation of The Jungle Book. Show dates are July 17th through August 1st. Starting time is 8:15 p.m. General admission is just $10 for adults, and children 12 years old and younger are just $5. Two parents and all their children under 18 years can purchase a family ticket at the box office for just $25, and you can save 20% on a family ticket if you print it out at home by going to junioruniversity.org. Listen to KCAA and win tickets to The Jungle Book. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Mark Westwood.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
Hi, this is Bob with Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. Tune in every Thursday afternoon from 3 until 4 at KCAA Radio 1050, and we will be there to answer your real estate questions, the latest real estate news, and to talk to the leaders of the real estate industry. Our Real Estate Talk, you can find out how to stop your foreclosure, first-time homebuyer information, loan modifications, different kinds of loans you can buy with, short sale strategies, and real estate investing and more. So don't forget, tune in every Thursday afternoon at 3 for Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. You'll be glad you did.
1050 AM. Don't forget that number. And for you young people who got here by accidentally fat fingering your FM band selector, we're an AM radio station. And AM refers to more than just the time of day.
From the lobby here in Ramsey Solutions headquarters, John and Shayna are here. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey.
We're doing better than we deserve, Dave.
Very cool. Good. Well, thanks for stopping by. How can I help today?
Well, we have a couple of questions to ask you about my parents in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So, my husband and I are on baby step 2, and we are planning to be debt-free outside of our house by May 2016, next year. And in the process, last October, my mom got very sick and was hospitalized for 5 days. And when she was hospitalized, they went into debt, about $3,000 they have in medical bills. And my mom and dad have nothing saved for retirement, and they're at retirement age. And my mom is no longer able to work, and so she's trying very hard to, I guess, come up with options at this point. And so they want to put all of the properties that they own free and clear into my name to avoid any issues that may come to them if they go into deep medical debt. And we are just unsure if we would take on any liability in doing that or if there's any penalties in doing it.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. How much property do they own?
They own their home. They own a garage in which my father works out of. And then they own a rental house, and I think they still owe about $30,000 on it.
And everything else is paid for. So what is all that property worth?
Maybe about $160, and then if
is
you
the garage on their residence property?
It's right down the road.
It's not on the same piece of property.
No.
Then? Okay. All right. And how old are they?
My dad, I believe, is 61, and my mom is 50.
And what was the nature of your mom's illness?
Severe COPD.
Okay. All right. And they don't have health insurance?
Actually, my mom did. She was a teacher assistant, and then the burden got way too far for them to afford my father's because she's out of work, and all she had was long-term disability to take care of her. So they can no longer afford his health insurance.
So he's not making anything in the garage?
Not enough to cover what they need. I mean, it's very sketchy here and there. It's all seasonal work. It's RVs and campers.
Okay.
Right.
So he's 61 years old. He needs to get a job, doesn't he?
We've tried to talk to him about that multiple times. It's just, it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
And we've tried to get through.
No, you cannot put their property in your name because they need to get their income straightened around and go get health insurance. They're not that old. They're not to retirement age yet. He's only 61 and 50-something years old. COPD, yes, keeps her from working, and she's not insurable. But under Obamacare, guess what? She's insurable. And so they need to go get health insurance because she's going to end up with a if you move the property to your name and a month later she ends up in the hospital in ICU for 10 days, the hospital is going to go and claim, rightfully so, that they moved the property in order to hide it, and they're going to undo it. So you can't just decide to do this kind of stuff. Plus, you've got a gift tax problem that's tremendous when they move that property into your name. They're going to get gift taxes out their ears. And so instead of functioning in the fear-based mode, she's trying to play defense. She needs to play offense. And offense means income. Defense means hide everything. Okay? And so they need an income to get so that they get under Obamacare, both get health insurance yesterday. And so your dad has got to go to work. He ain't got a choice. They have no money saved at all, where $3,000 is a crisis.
No.
Okay. And so I would sell the garage. Use that money and use that money to go buy some health insurance and go get me a job is what I would do. He's obviously a mechanic. He can probably get a job as a mechanic, can't he?
He just can't stay on his feet too long anymore. That's why he keeps having to hire help. He can't really stay on his feet more than 3 or 4 hours. He has to take an hour break.
So he's got health problems as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we've got to find something, given their health limitations, that they can do to generate an income, because they're not eligible for Social Security at this stage of the game unless they get permanent disability and they get SSI through that. But that's not even going to support them well through this thing. So they need health insurance and they need an income to get the health insurance, and that's what we've got to create. And I don't know exactly what that is or how to do that, but you've got to manage them through that. It might be a self-employed option, because that way he can control how long he's on his feet and what he's doing. But he can't. He's not in a position to tinker and retire at 61. That's not an option. He doesn't have the money, right?
Right. No, that's why he's continuing to work full-time as a camper repair place.
Yeah, but it's not generating an income.
Not enough, no.
Yeah, so he's not full-time. I mean, he's not making $10,000 a year, is he?
We can't get him to tell us how much he makes a year.
Yeah, he doesn't, because he doesn't make anything. That's why. Yeah. And so he wants to act like that's all okay, and it's not okay. So I don't know how, as a daughter, as a son-in-law, how you're going to help them pierce through this, but this is going to go downhill rapidly with one good hospital stay, and them moving the property into your name is not going to make that go away. So you can't hide stuff from creditors. That way it's illegal. They'll come back and undo it. Lawyers are smarter than that. And so, we've got to get to the core of this thing and play offense rather than defense. So that's what I would tell you. Hey, thanks for coming by. I wish I had a quick, easy answer. And I know it's a tough situation, but God bless y'all. Thanks for being here. All right, open phones at 888-825-5225. Scott is in Jackson, Mississippi. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Hey, Dave, how are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Man, I'm where to start, but I'm house poor, basically, more or less. My wife, about 2 years ago, she just came home one day and said, hey, I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. And anyway, it's just kind of been hard to know where to start. And then a couple months ago, I found, well, I've always known about you. I've seen your faces in bookstores and just, but when I finally heard the baby steps, I was like, hey, this is what I need right here. And
So have you guys gotten divorced?
No, not yet, unfortunately. It's just we're batting the ball back and forth. It's ridiculous. But
so you're house poor, but it has her name on it, right?
Right, yeah, right.
And so what's the house worth?
Well, I had a realtor come down and do a CMA on it, and they basically told me that comparative to the market, that it's worth $149, which is basically what I owe on it.
Yeah. So you're going to have trouble getting out of it without writing a
Pretty
check.
much.
Without writing a check of some kind. Do y'all have any money?
I mean, a little bit saved up. I've got probably about $10,000 saved up.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I'm still working the snowball above the mortgage, too. There's some other debt that she just walked out on as well. And right now I'm sitting at about $16,000 above that I'm working the debt snowball on.
And she's paid nothing?
No.
Do you have an attorney?
Oh, yeah.
Do you need a new attorney?
I keep telling myself that. This is actually my second one, and it's getting old quick, Dave.
Yeah. Well, you can put the house up for sale, but obviously she's going to have to sign the paperwork. Will she?
Sure she would.
Okay. All right. So
I would hope so.
Get her involved in getting the house, and getting the house sold. Let's put it up on the market and get it sold. And, get rid of the fact that you're house poor and get into something that you can afford after the divorce, because that's how you're having to live right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's, you just make that a priority, because that's the biggest thing hanging around your neck. The $10,000 or $12,000, $16,000 worth of debt's not killing you. You got $10,000 in the bank. You're going to have to write a check of some kind probably to get out of this house, but hopefully not too big. And you work with your realtor on that to try to make sure the house brings close to enough to get you out even anyway, and then have her sign the paperwork and get out of Dodge. And then your attorney needs to jack up her attorney, and we need to get this thing finalized. 2 freaking years? It's just dragging out forever. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Art Bell is back and he's coming to KCAA.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There was a civilization on Mars. That life had been us or our ancestors.
Nobody is more captivating than Art Bell.
Now, I